review of Transformers Studio Series number 33, Voyager class Bonecrusher, a long anticipated return of the character who was only briefly seen in the 2007 Transformers film fighting against Optimus Prime, knocking him off a bridge, and then becoming decapitated. Let's put aside the figure for a moment so we can take a look at the packaging. Here's a nice artwork for the character on the packaging. Here's number 33, Studio Series, Bonecrusher, Decepticon logo, HS8 and Plus, Hasbro's logo, Transformers, the 2007 film logo, Transformers, up to the Misaligned Generations logo at the top right corner, and right beside that we have Takara Tomy. Taking a look at the side of the packaging, and here's that nice artwork once again of Bonecrusher, and there's the ridiculous Autobot logo for the Decepticon packaging of the Studio Series, and down below all that we have the authentic Transformers stamp, which, to remind you, if it doesn't say authentic, it's a knockoff. On the other side of the packaging, we got Studio Series number 33, Bonecrusher, once again, up close in your face. And then Voyager class down below that. On the back of the packaging, and we're not going to go through all this, I'm just going to make it as simple as possible. These 33 steps of transformation from its vehicle form to its robot mode, and vice versa. The backdrop that the figure comes with is, once again, just like Optimus Prime, it's the Highway Showdown, which once again is being blocked off by this Japanese text, which I can't read except for that American text right there. Now, speaking of Optimus Prime, there he is right there, the Wave Mate. That's going to do it for the packaging, so let's go ahead and get this out of here now. That way I can tease you with the figure for a moment as we go about showing off, yes, you guessed it, the instructions. There you go. Have a good look at it. It's everything you wanted to see out of this video, right? It's the only reason you come to check out this video. Am I not mistaken? Boy, this is really fun here, showcasing these instructions. I really wish you guys would just beg me to stop doing this. Right, we're done with the instructions. Let's put them away. So we can take a look at Bonecrusher in his very nice vehicle form. And if you don't know what this is a military vehicle. What kind of military vehicle? It is a Buffalo H-Mine vehicle. Buffalo. That's all you need to know. Looks pretty good from the front. I just wish that the grille was actually painted. And we do have some painted headlights on the front. Here's a look at the nicely painted windows, and they don't look like stickers to me. The only nitpick I got about these windows is just that these pins are actually sticking through, so it looks like somebody threw rocks at the window. And that's also on the other side as well. It's nice to see that the hubcaps are actually painted on all the wheels, especially the faux wheels here on this side and on this side as well. Take a look at the back, and the window here is painted as well. Here's the rails to the steps that would be on the back of the vehicle. Here's a look at the kibble underneath the vehicle form, and as you can see, there's not much of a robot hiding here. The only real thing that's breaking up the design of this is just the obvious hinges here, because some of these panels have to be folded. And then we got these really nice styled wheel wells, which look pretty good. They're painted in black, obviously. So there is a little bit of an action feature in this mode. What you can do is you can play around with this gigantic fork of murder death here. You can split it out like so. There you go. There's something. You can rotate it. You can rotate these front portions here. Make it like a claw. Grab some vehicles, right? Maybe slam a bus around, something like that. Alright, so there's not much else to really say about this vehicle form. It is what it is. It's pretty compact. I do like the way it turned out. There's a little bit of some minor nitpickings here, but nothing too negative about it. So let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. So we're going to dare to compare with his wave mate Optimus Prime, which we previously reviewed. And just to add a little flavor, here's a look at Bonecrusher with Voyager class Brawl. Alright, let's not waste any more time and let's go straight into the transformation. And I gotta say, compared to Optimus Prime, this one is going to be so much easier on us. Start things off, I'm gonna go ahead and just fold this back just so it's out of the way. Then we can take the front nose of the vehicle and we can pop it up, swing it back like that. We'll go ahead and untab these back sections. This one's on a pretty tight connection, but there we go. Come underneath the vehicle and untap the legs by splitting them apart, and then pull up to untab them from these slots right here. Right there. Flip up the crotch piece for a moment. Come back to the top of the vehicle and split apart the arms. Untab these front panels, which are the windshields in vehicle form. Where the head is underneath the vehicle, what we're going to do is we're going to split this whole section apart by flipping it up like so. That should give us enough clearance now to actually fold out his legs. Go ahead and fold them all the way back till the tires are on the inside. Then take these panels right here and flip them all the way out, just like so. Rotate down the legs to where they meet the crotch section. Rotate the legs at the thigh section until this is facing forward. Swing this panel back and swing out this intersection like so. And here we have a leg. Repeat the same process on this side. Swing this out, flip this all the way back, and then flip out this panel piece. Swing up the chest piece to meet with the bottom section of the figure and tab it in like so. Come to the top of the vehicle and we're going to fold down this hinge like so. Rotate it all around until the arm is revealing like so. Split apart the elbow and then fold on this hinge all the way back like so. Rotate the forearm 90 degrees like so. And split apart the fingers. Come underneath the armpit section and take this panel and fold it on the hinge. And then bring it all the way in like so. Repeat the same process on the other arm. Fold down on this hinge. Rotate until the robotics is showing. Swing down. Fold down on the elbow. Rotate at the bicep. And then split apart the fingers. Fold up this hinge like so. And then bring this panel up. To the back of the figure, we're going to swing on this hinge right here to the fork. And then we're going to bring down this piece like so. This is also on a swivel. What we're going to do is we're going to swing it back 90 degrees to where the mushroom peg is actually showing itself. On this hinge down here, we're going to fold it up like so. Readjusting the camera so you can kind of see what's going on here. We're going to split the top of the fork like so. Bring all these hinges down just like this until they collapse and meet with the bottom section like so. Kind of like a W shape. Swing the forks around 90 degrees until they're facing forward. Finally readjust everything to your liking. And here we have Bonecrusher in his robot mode. And for a Voyager class figure, he's pretty tiny. Not gonna lie, this is more of a deluxe action figure, but I understand why they did it. It's because it's the size that counts in robot mode in comparisons to all the other figures. To start things off in the video, let's do a side-by-side comparisons with his wave mate Optimus Prime, and as you can see, this is pretty close as it comes to being in scale with one another. As you would have seen in the movie, Bonecrusher is actually pretty small compared to Optimus Prime. He should only come up to about here where my finger is pointing at the chest of Optimus Prime right here. And that's pretty close. It may not be perfect, but they're really working on it. This is probably as best as it's going to get for a while when it comes to these two. Who knows when we'll ever see Bonecrusher again in the studio series. So taking a look all around on the figure to see all this very nice detail. Some great sculpting here. Some nice paint work. Very clean work. There's no sloppiness as far as I can see. As you can see, we got some nice silver paint here for his stomach. The collar section is painted in silver as well. Got some nice gunmetal gray for his face. His eyes are painted red, and you can see they kind of pop in the light as well. Once again, we got those nice painted windows making up the side of his shoulders. Here's a look at the back of the figure, and as you can see, the backpack is pretty clean. Take a look at the bottom of the feet, and as you can see, they're pretty accurate as it comes to the design of the character from the film. You can see a good portion of the vehicle form is actually stored away on the back of his arms. Once again, the faux wheels on the vehicle form are actually stored pretty nicely at the crotch section of the figure. And beyond that, there's not much else to really say about the design of this figure. So going right into articulation, and he does have a swivel cut at the head, but it's kind of pointless. You don't really get much left and right movement, only just a little bit. The head is on a ball joint, but I really don't like moving it around because it comes off very easily. But if you wanted to recreate that scene where Optimus did the final blow by decapitating his head, you can. Of course, this being a ball joint at the head, you can just pop it right back on. We have a butterfly joint due to transformation on the figure, so you can get a lot of movement at the arms. We have a very nice hinge joint right at the shoulder. The shoulder is on a mushroom peg, and you can get a full 360 rotation if you play around with it. You have to get it past this little thing right here. There's also a hinge joint right here. So yeah, we got multiple points of joints here at the shoulders. Amazing. We have a swivel cut here at the elbow to make up with the fact that the figure does not have a bicep swivel. We have single jointed elbows that at least gets 90 degrees of bend. We have a hinge joint at the hand, and the fingers on the figure can open and close. There's no waist rotation due to transformation, but there's a nice swivel cut at the legs to get this much kicking forward and this much going back. And the hinges at the hips can pull off a very nice JCVD split, so there's your still quality, people. We have a thigh swivel cut, single jointed knees. It does get 9 degrees of bend. And if you want to count some of this as articulation at the bottom, but we do have a very impressive ankle rocker pivot. So if you want to pull off a very nice running pose where it looks like Bonecrusher is about to wreck a bus, it can be done. One thing I want to address about this figure is that the quality on him can be a hit or miss. These shoulders are extremely loose. Now, thank goodness they're on a mushroom peg, which means I can pop them off, dab a little brush-on super glue on the mushroom peg, and then pop this right back in place afterwards, and it should be pretty tight then. But yeah, both arms at the same time. That's pretty bad. So let's talk about weapons. This figure has none. The only thing that he's got is basically his claw in the back here, where you can extend it to the front, like so, and you can pull these out, and you can rotate these fork bits, and you can fold them in like this on this hinge and have a little bit of a claw going on here where you could grab some Autobots, maybe even Optimus Prime, as he tried to do in the movie before he got his head slit off. And yes, if you didn't like the look of it from the front, you can actually fold these down in the back, and it does clean up the front profile of the figure just a little bit more. Okay guys, you've seen what this figure looks like in scale comparisons with Optimus Prime, but let's see what he looks like with some of his Decepticon brethren from the 2007 film, such as with Transformers Studio Series Voyager Class Starscream, Studio Series Leader Class Blackout, let's not forget Scorponok while we're at it, and finally, here he is with Voyager Class Brawl. But it wouldn't be fair to leave the big guy out, so let's bring him in for comparisons. So as the final comparisons of this video, here he is with Revenge of the Fallen Voyager Class Megatron. Finally, taking a look at the backdrop that comes with the figure, and it is the exact same one that comes with Optimus Prime. There's no difference whatsoever. As you can see, we got the destruction going on here at the bridge where Prime and Bonecrusher would be falling to the ground below, to where Bonecrusher would meet an untimely end. Not much else to say about it, so let's go ahead and put the figure on here and get an overall look at it. And there's not much to really say about this either because the figure's taking up the whole thing. I mean, really, I can't see anything going on here because of how bulky the figure is. And I guess that's a good thing, actually. Well, guys, it's that time of the video. It's time to bring it to an end. So what are my overall thoughts about this figure? Is he worth the pickup? Yeah, he is. This is probably the best Bonecrusher that we've had in a long time. There really hasn't been that much Bonecrusher. It's only because he's been a short-lived character and, you know, there's really no reason to actually have any merchandise of this figure. You're pretty much gonna hate the size of this figure compared to Optimus Prime, but I'm telling you guys, that's pretty accurate. Regardless though, is it a $30 action figure? You're gonna have to decide that for yourself, but if I have to give you my 2 cents on it, probably not. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the articulation on the figure, I like the paintwork that is offered here, even though I kind of wish he did have that Bonecrusher logo with the bulldog in vehicle form, but that's not present. Maybe repro labels can fix that for us. But as it stands, this figure doesn't really offer that much. He's got cool vehicle mode, his robot mode is sick. You're not really getting much. He doesn't have any weapons. The backdrop is pretty much as bland as it was for Optimus Prime. I'm sorry to say that, but I could really do without these backdrops. I really wish that we could get more contents, more accessories, maybe interchangeable head. Maybe we can get a decapitated version of Bonecrusher where it looks like his head has really been wrecked by Optimus Prime. I'm just throwing stuff out here, but yeah, I mean, if you find him in stores, you may not want to pass him up, especially if you're buying into the whole entire studio series like I am, trying to be a completionist. But regardless, I mean, if you feel like you can wait on this figure until the price drops, it's more of a gamble here, but, you know, more power to you if you can do it, you know, by all means. So that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. There's not much else to say about it, so I'm going to go in closing by saying, if you enjoyed today's video review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until then, my friends, this is the Unprofessional Toy Reviewer Hasbro signing off by saying, when the opportunity persists, don't give up on your dreams, seize the moment. Thank you for watching.